everyone for coming out tonight and attending the online webinar for the University of Miami online MBA program. Just to set you guys an expectation, we're going to be about 30 minutes long here for the full webinar. And this is for you guys to ask questions. So definitely, if you have anything that you're wondering about the program or trying to figure out if this is the right fit for you here at the University of Miami, definitely feel free to write those into us here. So really quick, just a little bit about myself. My name's Eric Sargent. I'm one of the enrollment advisors here at the University of Miami for the online business programs. I've been here at Miami for a little over a year now, and I've been enjoying it ever since. And some of you guys here tonight may have spoken with me before or worked with me a little bit. But I'll be the one who's taking you through the online classroom here and answering all the questions that you guys have tonight. So to set the expectation for everything, like I said, going to last about 30 minutes here, this webinar, and we are going to be recording it. So if you miss something in here or you want to go back and view it later, we are going to be posting the recordings at our YouTube page. So if you haven't made it there, feel free to check it out. We have some other really good webinars that we've posted there as well. The main goal of this webinar is to answer all the questions that you guys have about the online MBA program here at University of Miami. So on your screen there, you'll notice there is a questions box. Go ahead and type those in, any questions that you have throughout the webinar. I'll do my best to answer those directly to you. Otherwise, we do have someone here who's also helping me answer some of those who can type them over to you. And if we don't get to everything, though, we will be trying to send you guys emails and follow up, or we'll be available tomorrow by phone if you want to call into the office to answer anything that was left unanswered for you. You can also see, if you want, you can join the conversation on Twitter. Definitely feel free to follow us or tweet. We're going to be following that during the webinar as well. But the main thing, like it says there, the goal of this webinar really is for you guys. So don't hold anything back that you're wondering about the program here. So to give you a quick agenda overview, what we're going to start with, just a little bit about the program, a little bit of background information on it. From there, I'm going to transition into taking you guys into the actual classroom itself to demo some of the different tools that are going to be at your disposal to be successful in the program. We'll go through some of the basic admissions information about the program just to make sure you are qualified. And then at the end, we'll open it up for additional questions, answers that we didn't get through. But definitely feel free to ask those, while we're going through the program here. Okay, so actually, now that I said that, a question just came in here right off the bat, and someone's asking about the structure of the online program, which is perfect here. That was one of the next things I was going to be speaking about. So the way this program's set up is it is a full-time online MBA program that you guys would be working through. So it's 42 credits total for the full degree, and what you're doing is you'd be taking one class every 7 weeks with a week break in between courses. So at that pace, you are going to finish the degree in 24 months there. Now, as it explains, there is an optional on-campus residency that's part of the program. So for the 13 classes you'll be taking, 12 of them are online. The 13th course, you've got an option for what you can do. Students who want to, they can come to the campus here for a week and take an accelerated 1-week course that would count for credit. It would obviously cut down on their time to completion by a couple weeks there. For some people, though, we know that's maybe not the most realistic thing. Maybe you're outside the country or even outside the state of Florida and can't make it down. For that 13th course, you can also take any online course from any of the programs that we offer to fill that elective course. You can see that the other great thing about this program, it is the same faculty members from the campus program are the ones that developed this one, brought it into the online setting, and are going to be teaching you throughout this program. So same degree that you'd get if you attended here on campus. It doesn't say anything that you took it online. It's definitely just as rigorous, and you are invited to walk at the same on-campus graduation ceremony with both the online and the on-campus students together. So really cool in that regard. The other thing that we offer with the program is we offer an optional on-campus orientation weekend. So one of the big questions we get from MBA students is about that networking aspect, right? And obviously it's a big part of it to connect with your students and build that network of professionals as you move forward in your career. So typically what we do is, excuse me, the weekend before the classes will start for the first semester, we do hold an orientation weekend here. And these are some photos actually from the one that we just had this past fall from our first class of MBA students. They came here for a day, got a tour of the campus, got to speak with an alumni panel, and got to meet each other who they'd be working with for the next 2 years, which was obviously a really, really cool experience for them to kind of put a face to, you know, all the different discussions and videos and things like that that you'll be working through. Okay, so here's a quick list of all the different courses that make up that this degree program here. So as you can see, it's the 13 courses that I spoke about. The last course listed there, that Miami residency or elective one, but this is the track that you'd be taking. And the way the faculty have set up this program is it is a lockstep program that you'd be working through, taking the one class for 7 weeks and then move on to the next one. While this schedule is open to a little bit of change, for the most part, this would be the pattern that it would follow that you'd go through for the 2-year program. For anyone who's debating between this and another MBA program, you know, this one, like I said, this is the pattern you go through, and these are the courses that you'd take except for that one elective there. Some people do ask if there's a concentration, which unfortunately there's not, but this one has been selected with these courses to be a very holistic program. The faculty wanted to design it so that someone coming into it would come out with business skills in a lot of different areas that they'd be able to apply. So you can see everything ranges from, you know, the fundamentals of finance and accounting all the way to operations, research, models, and management. You know, somewhat of a specific course that maybe not other programs would offer. So pretty cool in that regard. Okay, looks like not too many questions right now about the overview there. So let's go ahead, let's transition over to the classroom itself, which I'm sure is why a lot of you guys here are on the call and want to take a look. So this right here that we just shifted over to, this is the actual classroom itself that you'd be working in. So for people who have done online classes before, you'd be using Blackboard would be the system that you're working through. So you may be familiar with that. Now, we go in here. One question I get a lot from students regarding the classroom is, you know, are there going to be set class times? How flexible is this going to be to me? You know, how is this whole thing going to work, right? Will I be able to balance it with my work and home life? And the answer is definitely yes. That's what we have this really built around. Most students that we work with are working professionals. They have another job, you know, or some other commitment that they're working with, and they need their program to be flexible to balance with that. So when you come into the Blackboard, you'll log in through your student portal, and you'll come in here to this first section, this main announcements section here. What this is this is a forum for your professor to post anything relevant to all the students in the class. As you can see here, just a couple days ago, professor posted a little bit about the one of the assignments here, and a little bit of additional information. You've also got, when you come in here, the syllabus, right? I get a lot of questions from students about that and understanding when their course materials are going to be due. When you come into your course for the first time, when you log in, you can access this course syllabus, and you can see that each of the assignments have already been laid out for you for the entire program. So if you're going to be going on a vacation, you're able to budget the time that you're going to need, and you know ahead of time everything that you have. The other thing that the professors try to do is they do try and set up their courses in somewhat of a lockstep format. That way you kind of have that rhythm to things each week, and there's not a lot of surprises, I guess, as you go through the course, right? The other system that we use here is we use a course messaging system. So you have a lot of different ways to communicate with the faculty and your other classmates. You've got a student email account that we set up for you here that you can communicate obviously with you know, the professors, with your classmates, things like that. The other thing we set up for you, though, is this course messaging that's built directly into the classroom itself. It functions just like an email system. You can upload documents, you can send it. What's really cool is everyone's information for the course is already preloaded in here, including the professors, so you can contact them really easily. A good way to stay in touch with other people. And the other thing sometimes students ask me about is with regards to troubleshooting, or what happens if something goes wrong. A lot of people who first time online have some concern about that. So one thing to kind of soothe students' fears is you do have a student technical support team that's going to be available 24/7 to you. So any issues that come up in your classroom, you've always got someone that you can call to help work you through everything. So let's go ahead and get into the pretty good stuff here. So what we do is the course is going to have this navigation system listed here on the left-hand side. And like I said, when you go into the syllabus, you can see a general overview of the assignments that you're going to have due for the course. And then here on the left-hand side, you've also got each week itself with all the different topics that you're going to be working through. So let's go ahead, let's take a look at week 1 for the first course here that you'd be taking, the BUS 640, the Fundamentals of Finance course. So when you click on the left-hand side there for a week, it's going to bring open a new tab here and bring you into the week itself. Each week is going to start with a short video from the professor, introducing himself, discussing some of the topics that you guys are going to be going over. With all the different videos, all the different PowerPoints, all the different materials in here, you'll notice there's always a section where you can click to download them. If you know you're going to be on the go that week, you're going to be taking the kids to practice, things like that, you can download all this stuff ahead of time to your phone, your tablet. That way you've got it and can access it when you're out and about. What you'll do is you're able to, the week runs through chronologically as you scroll down the page here, right? So as you go down, you can see the major learning outcomes. You've also got a brief cutout from the syllabus itself, so that corresponds from that beginning page. You've also got at the beginning of each week this weekly download section. What this is if you go in here and click it, it's going to list all of the materials that you're going to need for that week that, again, you can go ahead and download right then. That way you have them and won't have to be fumbling for them later in the week. The other tool I point out to students, since obviously there's a lot of scrolling that you do as you scroll down the page, there's this Jump To section at the top, right? That lists all the different things that you're going to be completing for that week. You can click that, it jumps to the section that you need. So for this first week of classes, you've got a practice quiz. You've also got students would have a check your knowledge section where they'd be going through some of the different course materials and completing an assignment just for completion to make sure they're understanding some of the different topics that have been introduced. And again, here's the different materials that you'd be using for that check your knowledge. Typically in a week after doing a check your knowledge, there's also an optional discussion. So if you want to speak with your other classmates and go over some different things, you can do that in this section here. You will also have for the first course some work problems as well, though. What we offer for a lot of the analytical courses is the work problems you'd go through, you'd complete the assignment, and as you can see here, they give you the instructions for how you write those out and then also scan them into your professor. What they try and do, the faculty here, is give you as much feedback on your assignments as possible. When you upload them like that, they're able to give you direct feedback on where you went wrong with everything. And finally, for this first week here of this course, there is a timed quiz. That's pretty standard for how the faculty are going to be measuring, how well you're grasping the material, is by having these different timed quizzes. One question I got earlier in the webinar here was if there was going to be any kind of webcams or webcam quizzes or anything like that. So the answer is no. Obviously, there is a certain element of your, being on your honor that is included, but you'll have these different timed quizzes here where you'll go in, you'll take the quiz, and then you'll scan and upload all your work that you did, and the faculty will be grading you that way. And that's going to be the major overview of at least the first course, right? So you'd have at the beginning of the week a check your knowledge assignment you'd be completing. some work problems that'd be, a little bit graded a little bit more strictly, and then finally a quiz at the end of the week to make sure you grasped everything that went over. And obviously each course is going to be a little bit different, right? The finance course is going to look very different from the operations management and things like that. So don't think that this is the only way that you'll be receiving the material, but they are going to be, kind of follow this same general pattern. Now, the other really useful tool that's located in here is the Faculty Corner section that's listed here. So let me go ahead and show you guys that really quick. So the Faculty Corner is going to be each week your professor is going to hold different office hours that they're going to be that you're going to be able to attend. Those are the only events that have a specific time. They usually hold them in the evenings so that people from East and West Coast are able to both be able to attend. But what you'll do is you'll log in using Adobe Connect software, and you'll come in here and in a conference call type of setting, and your professor is going to be able to answer any kind of questions that you have on the material, and he's also able to speak to you directly, and he can use this whiteboard application to illustrate anything that needs to be drawn out. So this is actually some information from one of the Faculty Corner sections that happened a couple weeks ago. If you can't make it for some reason, though, the good thing, just like the rest of the information, is that they are recorded. As you can see here, that's how I'm accessing them, obviously, and you can watch them at your leisure and go back and watch anything that you need to. So one of the questions I got was how group projects are going to be handled with the faculty. So obviously with the MBA, we have tried to make it as individual as possible. We know that you guys are working professionals, but there is going to be some group work that you guys are going to be asked to do. So with that, you're going to be broken into groups. The faculty typically tries to incorporate some type of software in there for you to go in. Sometimes they'll try and help you to use Adobe Connect or something like that, or one of the other softwares like that. But they will give you obviously the contact information. You guys will be setting up times to work with one another in the group. So it is a question that we get a lot, since some programs are very heavy on the group work. We've tried to keep it as limited as possible for you guys to make it a little bit easier, but there will be some of it in there that you will be asked to coordinate with your classmates. Okay. All right. So I'll go ahead. Let me switch back over to out of the classroom here and back into the PowerPoint. So now that we've taken a look through the classroom itself, one of the other big questions we obviously get from students who are looking at the program and considering it is going to be about the admissions requirements and if they're going to be qualified for the program. So what I tell students is that if you haven't reached out to the enrollment office here, definitely go ahead and give us a call so that we can speak with you. The admissions process for everyone is going to be a little bit different. We're obviously going to take a look at your transcripts from your undergrad or any degrees that you've completed, and we are going to take a look at your resume and your professional work experience. As it says there, we also take a look at 2 letters of recommendation and a brief goal statement from a student. Some students are eligible to have the GMAT test waived. So if you do, if you want to find out that, you would have to give us a call though, because it is on somewhat of a case-by-case basis, because everyone is a little bit different when it comes to that. The next start date we have coming up is going to be this coming January. The deadline to apply, as it says there, is December 21st, and the first day of class is going to be January 11th, actually. I think we talked about it earlier in one of the slides. The residency would be for January 9th here on campus. So definitely still time to attend that one. For that start date in particular, we're actually offering several different scholarships for this program. So if it's something you think you're interested in, definitely give us a call so we can go over some of the different scholarships you might be eligible for. Otherwise, though, we do have the summer start date for May coming up as well. And if you also want to go in and fill out an application for the program, we've got the link listed there as well. It is free to apply, so it doesn't hurt to see if you're eligible for the program and submit an application in there. Okay, we did just get a question from a student regarding the different GMAT scores. So just like the other elements to the application, it is going to vary from person to person. There's not a set GMAT score that you have to receive. One thing to remember with the application is there's not one element that weighs heavier than the other. We are going to look at the resume, transcript, GMAT, letters of recommendation, and personal statement. All of those are kind of taken together collectively to render an admissions decision for you. So what I would say is for anyone who's thinking about taking the GMAT and has taken some practice tests or is scheduled to take the GMAT, go ahead and give your enrollment advisor a call. They can speak to you about where you're kind of falling based on your personal situation with everything. Okay, but again, my name is Eric. I'm one of the enrollment advisors here. The application again there to apply is there, and there's also the contact information for the enrollment office here. If you want to, we'll be available tomorrow, all of us, myself included. I would also encourage you guys to check out our UOnline blog that we've started. There's some really interesting information in there regarding previous classes of students who have enrolled, the typical demographics, things like that. And then also anything else, you can follow us on Facebook as well. We like to see students posting questions and starting dialogues there with other students also. So with that being said, if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and close out the webinar. But thank you very much again for attending, and hopefully we'll be hearing from you guys soon here in the enrollment office. All right, thank you very much.